April, and I have a book that I want to tell you about because you need to know about this book because oh my gosh, I'm never doing that again. This weekend, I not only bought but read a book in a 12-hour time span. And there was some sleep in there, but it was pretty much just reading. And that is Illuminae by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. I have been seeing an art copy of this book since nearly the beginning of this year. And when I saw that beautiful edition that was hardcover, just like this final, it immediately went on my I have to have list. But oddly enough, when it actually released, I kind of got a little gun shy. I'm not sure why that happens. It might have been because no one could give me a clear synopsis of what this book was about. Most of the people were holding it up and saying, I have no idea what this is about, but it should be good, which is helpful to absolutely no one. But then I had one of those days. I had one of those days that required me to walk into a store and come out with a book. And it did. And it was this book. And then it proceeded to take over my life for the next 12 hours. And then I pretty much crashed and had no idea what to do with my life anymore. Yeah, it was that much of a ride. Now, Illuminae is actually the title of the files. These are the Illuminae files, which is a compilation of instant messenger chats, interview transcripts, video transcripts, data logs, and all of that kind of stuff that documents an event that happened in the year 2575. This event is the destruction of an illegal mine by another competing company. Nearly 2,000 people were killed on this planet, but some of them escaped. And we're on their way trying to get away from this other elitist company who were trying to, of course, just obliterate them. While this is going on, other very epic issues start to happen, and so the survivors of this catastrophe have to then survive in space. And I don't want to give too much of away because part of that journey is just learning what they are facing. These files mostly revolve around two characters. They are teenagers who survived from the initial destruction of the mining planet, and that is Caddy and Ezra. These two had started out in a relationship, but the day of the attack, of course, was the day they broke up. So then you get to see some of their journey as they try to survive and they reconnect. This isn't necessarily a character-driven story, it is more of an action-driven story. You don't get to know the characters intimately, but you get to see who they are by all the different kinds of documentations of this whole event, which left me in a blob on the floor after I read the last page. There might have been several annoying texts to both my roommate and my boyfriend just asking about why life. What? Huh? That's pretty much what it was. The unique thing about this book is, of course, the file structure of the story. You get some of Caddy's journal. You get transcripts of video files from the ships. And then, of course, you get emails, and the list goes on and on. It is an interesting way to try and piece together a story. At times, because of some of the graphical nature that they decide to depict the words in, it gets a little hard to read, but overall, I really liked it. The graphic designer in me, however, had some issues with the graphic choices. This cover is amazing, is it not? But inside, it kind of feels like the early 2000s and what the desktop and emails looked like back then, and part of me wanted a slightly more futuristic style technology, but I didn't really get that, and so that brought it down a little bit for me, which is weird because it's a story and it shouldn't, but I have weird hang-ups. So one of those hang-ups was that. Also, I will give the warning. If you have issues with zombie-like people or just gore or any of that kind of stuff, you might have some issues with this book. Because space can do weird things to people. And this book, it takes in the perils of relying on technology. It takes in the atrocities that humans can do to each other, and it balls it up into this massive journey. It is written in such a movie-like fashion that the whole time I was seeing everything happen as if I was watching a film. It was great. So if you like sci-fi, if you like space adventure, if you like running for your lives from other human beings who may do you harm, I highly, 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 highly recommend this book. You need to pick it up. And that's all I have for you guys. Go! Pick up the book, tell me what you think, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.